from MarketWizards.com and eMiniWizard.com on the 13th of June, 2019, just after 11, reminding traders to use risk capital you can afford to lose. Just following up on the ideas we've been talking about. This 85 is a tough area. I really like the idea of someone like Lynn taking the time to learn this business while he doesn't really need it. He's still got a job, he's working, but he's paying his dues, saying, okay, this is something I want to learn. I don't want it to stay a hobby forever. I want it to become a business. I want to learn how to manage some of my own money. And I like that approach. We've all done that over the years. We've all spent some time working and then trying to learn a new profession or a new idea or even a hobby like golf. And sometimes we're taking classes. I remember taking my master's work at Southern Connecticut, and it was warmed over rehash of what I'd learned at Springfield. But you still had to get your degree and pay your dues, so you did. And we tried to find some fun classes. And one of my best friends, Kenny, he said, "Come on, let's go take a basketball skills class. It'll be fun. We'll play together, and we'll get our credits and have some fun." Now I remember that was one of the courses I took, and then we had things like statistics that drove me nuts. It was actually the only class I got a B in. Everything else was an A for my graduate work. But I had like an 89 average, and the lady wouldn't wouldn't give it to me. I was so annoyed, and I was pretty good at math, but it was somewhat new territory for me, and all I could say was that I didn't enjoy that class as much as the basketball skills class. 85 stops down. Anybody's got this. There's that 84 we talked about. Remember where that is on the weekly, right there. Stops down. Flipping back quickly. Right here. Said I'm hoping to get the 82s, close the gap if we can. Stops down. Wonderful. Regression trade. Yeah, baby. You get into that 83s to 82s, lock it. I remember the basketball class that I took with Kenny, who has since departed. He was my best friend. Some really good stories with him. But the class we took was in basketball was Eddie Brown was the teacher. He was the basketball coach at the time. And I never forgot one of his key sayings. He said, your value to your team is the difference between what you score and what you keep your opponent from scoring. He said, my biggest complaint, 82s, supportive. We're going to use this high back in here as our resistance still. Top of this swing right here at 93. He said, my biggest complaint with basketball players that come in is they don't understand that defense is important. You've got to play the game at both ends. You got to play offense, but you also have to play defense. And over the years, that is stuck in my mind as a very important idea for us as traders. Got to play the game at both ends. You've got to play defense. You got to take your stop outs and try again. We said 2 or 3 tries maybe today, but we'd like the regression trade. So that's your defense, and fine. And then you finally, you catch a couple of these that work. That's defense. Instead of buying into the idea that Charlie is up here saying, oh yeah, come on, this is fair. We've had a good swing, yes, but this is the fair way to come back in on a day like today, especially when you're looking at this pattern which is down from that high to that low, and then this is the bounce. Flatten out. Anybody that's short side, make sure you're paid. Yeah, so we're going to leave chips on the table today. So here's your bounce, and then this is fair coming back this way. Learn, and I'm trying to help convince people like Lynn who are new at this business. It's worth taking the time to learn this stuff, especially with small amounts in the micros. And then these patterns will start to make sense. So yes, we came up, and the pullbacks are probably going to get bought, but why buy the highs? Especially when you're at a 60 back already from the week's high to the low and then back again. So is this conclusive that the day is going to end up down here? No, of course not. All we know is we've had a good run this morning and been able to come back in and, get close to the gap, which is all I said. Give me 82s. I'm happy. Well, guess what? Close enough for government work. Brian, that's a great post. And I'm wrapping up this video with capturing that. Brian is saying he's fine. You also need to play defense against your own mental capital when it comes to taking stops, especially when learning and stop outs can occur more often. And what you do in practice is what you will do in real time. So if you're on a simulator or you're on a small, micro account, if you get used to bad habits, when you go do the real thing, you're going to get buried. So learn the right way. Take the stops and say, okay, I was wrong, or my timing was wrong, or my level was wrong, or whatever, or I missed that. And again, if you're only playing like one contract, you're really at a disadvantage. And that's the way a lot of newbies start. But you're always having to make a decision instead of being able to peel a few. It's a little channel that we've been in. Lower, low, lower high, lower low. Yesterday's middle, for those of you interested, right here, 82.5. So here's where a trap was put on overnight too. So be happy. Don't always worry about the last point you didn't get. That's the one that gets you in trouble. Be happy what we can take from the day, not what we miss from the day. It's all about your perspective. You can make money in either direction as long as you're catching the timing right. We should be getting a profit-taking swing. We've had another 10-point swing, right? From these 93 highs to the 83 lows. Come on. Somebody wants profits. But that last point and a half, everybody wants. And you get back 4 or 5. Yeah, the frustration is certainly there. It's like the body blows, like we said. Peter acknowledged what we talked about with the boxing analogy. Come on, you're going to get hit. If you're not mentally hit, if you're in a street fight and you're not mentally prepared to get hit, your body's going to go into shock. You got to say, I'm going to get hit, but you know what? I'm going to defend myself. And that's the way we have to look at this. It's a business. If this is a hobby, then, you might as well be playing Fortnite. If it's a business, then you got to treat it the right way.